Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today for some good news finally about my McLaren 675LT Spider. Now the car has been away for quite a long time, having a few issues sorted out, but it is now ready to be signed off. So I'm going to be hopping on board the Toyota GR Supra to head up to McLaren Manchester to go and see the car for the first time in 4 months. Now at this stage I haven't actually driven it in about 10 months. I'll explain all when we get there later on if you haven't been following the progress with this car, but it's also got one more upgrade to show you today as well, which I'm quite looking forward to seeing myself. So needless to say, I'm quite excited to go and check it out to see how the LT Spider is looking. It's then going to be coming back for PPF, but I'll be away, so I won't be able to sign it off at that stage, which is why I'm going to go and see it today. So let's hop on board the Supra then, get on the road, go check out how my LT Spider is looking. Which means an outing today then with the Toyota GR Supra A90 edition. The daily that I use for these kind of journeys. It's comfortable, it's a cruiser, it's pretty efficient on a longer slog on the motorways. So let's hop on board then, get this fired up, get the journey underway to head up today to McLaren Manchester. So bring it into life, and then we will go see how the 675LT is looking. And genuinely, I can't actually wait to get back there. So let's get on the road and go find it. On the way out of London on a beautifully sunny day and currently following an F-Type. Now that's a V6S, but the reason I'm thinking about it is that that car is now 7 years old. It still looks really good. They still sound amazing, of course. Back at the beginning, they had the V6, the V6S, and the F-Type R with the V8. But it's 7 years old. Time is flying by. Anyway, we'll get out onto the motorways, go for the cruise. Hopefully it's going to be an easy drive. Doesn't look like there's any traffic ahead at the moment, so fingers crossed it's going to be a smooth one to get up towards McLaren Manchester. While we're cruising up the motorway then, a quick reminder of what actually happened to the car. Now my 675LT experienced something that has basically plagued a lot of McLarens of that kind of age. Just after it turned 3 years old, we noticed a little bit of oxidation on the front wings underneath the headlights, which meant that the parts needed to be replaced and then repainted obviously to match. There were a couple of other small little niggles that were all fixed at the same time, but ultimately when it came back to me, the paint wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect as it needed to be for me on a car that I'm going to keep forever in a special paint colour. We made the MSO Orion Purple paint, so basically it ended up staying with me because I wanted to keep a hold of the car for my 10-year anniversary photo shoot that I did. You might remember getting all of my cars together as Shmee150 reached 10 years old on YouTube. After that, almost immediately went back up to McLaren to have this paintwork slightly rectified, because also in that time, unfortunately, the bonnet had also oxidized, so it needed to have some work done to the bonnet, which is going to lead me on to the upgrade that you're going to see later on as well. So basically it has now had all of these problems in total looked at. Yes, speed traps everywhere on one of these, what they call smart motorways, where you have cameras non-stop, they can lower the speed limit. It's all very, very, very boring, and you're just sitting here on cruise control at exactly 70 miles an hour as we make our way up. Anyway, it's had all of these things fixed, and also in the time it had been left and the battery had gone flat, so the airbag warnings had come on, the service counter needed to be reset, a few silly little things. So all of these we're going to check over today and make sure everything is all completely perfect, especially the paintwork, and I can't wait actually to see the paint on a sunny day like today. It's going to look stunning. So I guess that's a bit of a summary, and you'll see what I'm talking about with the bonnet when we get there in not all that long. We are arriving then here where we have the Bentley showroom and the McLaren workshop as well. So we've got a couple of McLarens. Let's get this parked back up though, and then head round, go find the LT. It has been a fair while then since we last saw it on the channel, but here in the workshop we have my McLaren 675LT Spider here at McLaren Manchester, which I'm going to take you through what's been done, what still needs to be done, but the car is looking stunning in the MSO Orion Purple with those controversial at the time silver wheels. We talked a lot about that around my SLS as well. And out of all of the Shmee-mobiles, by the way, this is actually my only convertible, so with the lovely weather right now, I cannot wait to get back behind the wheel and take this for a drive, but there will be things that need to be done first. Now the main thing was to do with the paintwork. A few of the panels, the front wings in particular, and also the bonnet had to be replaced and therefore repainted in the exact same colour. That means at the moment the car doesn't have paint protection film, so I'm not going to take it out for a drive because I don't want to risk getting any stone chips or anything like that before it's covered in PPF. So the next stop will be to go down to Topaz before it then gets delivered back to me and the adventures can really start. And as soon as it comes back, I am taking this out for a proper drive. Now the reason it has been quite so difficult with the paint is down to the fact that I made my own paint colour. This in MSO Orion Purple came from a visit to MSO, McLaren Special Operations, well, about 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago now. Back at the time I had my 675LT Coupe in Cerulean Blue. I also had my name on the potential, hopefully, wish to buy list for the P15, which we now know as the Senna, and also wanted that in Cerulean Blue. So with this, it was a case of what colour could we make and what could we do with it to make it look really cool alongside that. And you will notice in the purple paintwork, we have that Cerulean Blue metallic flake. Now to get this as an exact match and to make it all look completely correct has been pretty difficult. The paint manufacturers have been involved, McLaren Manchester have been very supportive to make all of that happen as well, and that is why we have an upgrade in the form of the bonnet, which I will explain in just a moment. Now on this car, against the dark Orion Purple paintwork, that big topic of the wheels, where I went for the ultra lightweight option in the bright silver, the gloss silver finish. We've got the satin silver calipers behind, so a lot of silver against the dark paint. We've also got those gigantic front disc brakes. Now carbon ceramics are not cheap to replace, but these are nearing the end of their life, so depending how much track work I want the car to do in the future, those are going to need to be replaced, and I think a complete set all around officially is about 12 or 13,000 pounds, so I do need to consider exactly what I'm going to do with that. But let's talk now then about this bonnet and exactly what has been done. So originally it was the front wings that had oxidized. They had a bit of oxidation that you could see around the headlights, and those had to be replaced and repainted. When it came back shortly thereafter, the front bonnet did a similar thing, so that has now had to be replaced as well. But rather than replacing it with the same original part that it had, it seemed like a pretty cool opportunity to upgrade it in the process. So to unlock this and show you on the underside, we now have a full carbon fibre bonnet with all of the exposed weave that you can see under there. And who doesn't love as much carbon fibre as you can have, matching with the satin? So of course all the exposed satin parts on the outside of the car, a little bit lighter, a little bit stronger, and looking lovely, painted on the top. It could have technically been left as carbon, but I liked having the purple showing as much as possible with the carbon McLaren badge that we have on the front of the car as well. Just press that back down. I think looking pretty nice overall, isn't it? This car is just such a cool thing. So let me come through then to take a step inside. We will open this up. The dihedral doors, just step back so I don't trip over the bottom. There was also some work that was done with the calibration of the rear wing and its position and how it sits flat when you go at speed. Obviously back here we've got the slight bluing of the titanium exhaust system as well. Let me come through because I want to fire this up and bring it back into life. Obviously at the moment we've got all of the protection materials around everything, but inside here 12,500 miles. Just wake it up for a moment. One press for the power, one press for the ignition, and then bring it into life. There we go, grumbling away, exactly as it should be. I can't wait to have more of that sound when we're out and about on the roads proper and get back inside here and enjoy it. It's a really cool car. These seats, by the way, are also amazing. They were the original P1 seats and they are very comfortable, very, very supportive, and I like them a lot. Obviously the Orion Purple handling and powertrain toggles as well, and the active dynamics, all covered in protection film at the moment while it's here with the dealership. Well, yes, looking lovely, sounding lovely. I guess I'll shut it off for the time being, try and work out how to slide myself back out holding a camera, which is not the easiest thing in the world, but there we go, mission success. The car will need to get PPF back on a number of the panels, as the soft closed doors. So I think at the moment, basically the whole front has been repainted. So we've got to do the wings, the bonnet, the bumper, and those side parts as well, but all in Topaz's capable hands. So what else? Like I said, it needed to have the software reset because of the battery glitch. It's actually had the battery taken out of it while it's been parked here to protect it. The body shop obviously prepared for that. So all of that's been done with the computers, that side of things. Just, I guess, a check over, a detail. It needs to be made sure that it can be fully signed off and everything is perfect. But basically, it is looking good, and I can't wait to get it back out. In fact, I think I might pull it out into the sunshine just to see how it looks now as well. Now this is looking better. better in the sunshine and of course with the roof down. So I'll hop on out in just a second. Look at this parked here then. I tell you what's quite interesting for me is to see the paint when it's just been painted but not yet detailed. There is still more work to be done, and you might be able to catch some of the holograms that you have on the bonnet. Those all go away when it's been detailed, and then of course before it's been paint protection filmed, when that happens afterwards, so that it looks immaculate like the rest of the car. But this, well, I just can't wait to have it back, to be honest. It's been a long time away, but these things happen. It's an older car now, it had a few issues. It's just taken a bit of time, especially with me wanting to use the car as well for that 10-year shoot, as I mentioned. So I made sure that I had it back for that, as opposed to getting it sorted out straight away, given that the weather was bad. And then obviously we didn't exactly plan it the last couple of months. It was just about ready. It was just ready about 2 and a bit months ago when everything happened. It was about a day or two away from coming back to me, and then of course, well, couldn't really control it. Worse things have happened, hey. Anyway, it's going to be back soon. We've got great weather. Hopefully we'll still have some more great weather through the season as well, and some opportunities to take this on the road, hopefully across Europe a little bit, hopefully out to some amazing roads and potentially some tracks too. For the time being though, I will say farewell to the LT, hop back in the Supra and head on back home. It seems at the moment like the majority of the UK motorway network is currently in roadworks, 50 miles per hour, average speed zones, average speed cameras. Not exactly the most exciting drive in the world. Lots of trucks, all the cars, all going at the same speed, which I always think is a really bad idea because nobody can see everybody, everybody's in blind spots. Anyway, you might have spotted one or two things with the LT that are still going to be sorted out. The car's just come back from the body shop to the dealership, so they've just received it. They're going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb, go through everything. Some small things, like I said, speed cameras. Some small things like the bonnet needs a small realignment, nothing complicated. That's all going to be done then while I'm away for the next couple of months, getting some things sorted out, which you will hear more about very shortly. But hopefully when I get back, we'll be able to get the car through Topaz to get paint protection film on it. Remember, you can't do PPF on very freshly painted paintwork. You need to give it time to harden, to settle, so that you don't have problems with it in the future. So that will all get sorted out, and then I think if I can, later in this year, I would love to take that car for a road trip down to the south of France, down to Monaco, something like that, roof down, late summer, September, October. Fingers crossed it is possible to travel for tourist reasons at some point later in this year. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, how all of those things go. It changes so quickly from one region to the next, from one country to the next, even within countries, as to what you can do and what you can't do. The good news is, though, that the LT will be back at some point before too long. Remember, I did go over all of the details and the kind of backstory recently to tell you everything that had happened with it, but I'm hoping that when I'm next back here, it will be possible to have that car back at home in the garage. And look, we have an 8 Series Coupe, an 840i. It's not going to be very long now until the M8 Composition Coupe arrives in the Schmiemobiles collection. In fact, that's going to be really quite soon. Those things do look really good on the road. You know just how low and wide it is. It's just super cool. The 8 Series then, not long, ticking down the clock, and it should be coming in the next, or maybe at this point, the next week or two, fingers crossed. A few hours and a few hundred miles later, the car has now done 4,374. Just one little blip or two now that it's warmed up. Right, let's get this car shut off for the time being. Back home then, here in the garage, after a successful outing, I would say, to go and see the 675LT. The Supra is really good for a drive like that, just a gentle cruise. I think the current miles I've done since filling up, we filled once on the way up, and the mileage to empty would be about 500 miles to the tank, and it's not exactly the biggest fuel tank either. It's a great car just for cruising. Sometimes though, and I have mentioned this before, the lane assist just grabs it when you don't want it to, and sometimes as well it brakes when it sees something in front of you that isn't really directly in front of you. It's very intrusive in terms of safety systems. You can turn them off, but I slightly disagree with turning off a safety system that a car has had engineered and developed and incorporated, because if you then got it wrong, you would feel really stupid that you turned it off. So I keep them all on, which I do sometimes question. Anyway, I'm rambling on about the Supra. Good news to see the LT again. Great for me actually to see that car, because it's been a while. I do miss driving it. I want to get it out and about, and as you know, I had these big plans to take it on trips, well now a month or even more than a month ago, which is kind of odd. Alas, that didn't happen with everything being cancelled, but fingers crossed, and I've said that a few times this video, later in this year it is going to be possible to have some fun with it. For today though, thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!